Hello everybody, SSA here, aka Super Sunarashi, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you week 1 of the Showdown League 93, or SL93 for short, as we take on the Syracuse Slowbros, if I'm correct, who has been led by Coach Prestike, or you know it. And I'm going to make a quick breakdown for you guys why I'm actually making a series about this, because this isn't a YouTube based draft league, it's more of a casual draft league. But since this is the first draft league that I'm participating in since my return as a draft league coach, and the first draft league of the Groningen Noctowls in general, that kind of persuaded me a little bit to actually make a series on this channel, because I did say that I want to bring more competitive Pokemon to the channel and that I want to bring more draft leagues to the channel in the future. And all of that, you know, convinced me that I should just make a series for this. Again, it's not a serious league, it's just a casual draft league, but it actually helps me out a lot because I can get back into the draft league in general. And I drafted quite a good team. I will put the team that I drafted on the screen now, like on a picture or something. And it was a point-based tier draft, so you have tiers, you have points, and you have to spend points on the mons that you could choose. And I am actually very happy with this team, and I kind of took an example to Nexus's team from the WBE and kind of turned my own swing to it, if you may call it that way. And I'm very satisfied with this team, with the draft, because we have a lot of, you know, mons that I'm used to, but also a lot of mons that I'm not used to and that I'm going to, you know, get to know better thanks to this league. So that all being said, that was a long introduction, I know, so let's just get right into this battle, week 1 of the SL93 league. And we're bringing Mega Blastoise, Emboar, Florges, Druddigon, Kartana and Kyurem, while my opponent brings Porygon 2, Arcanine, Latias, Mega Steelix, Landorus Therian and Electivire. So right away from the bat, I was safe to go into my Druddigon here, because Druddigon is an amazing mon. My tip for any people that is starting out with draft leagues, if you got the opportunity to draft Druddigon, it's an amazing mon to use, and not even that difficult to use, but it can help you out so much. It has rough skin, put a rocky helmet on it, and it has the move Glare, so you can paralyze mons like the Landorus Therian. We can paralyze that mon if we want to, which not gonna spoil anything, but who knows. But if you are going to start out on the draft league, Druddigon is the best way to go, in my honest opinion. It's amazing mon to use. But let's just play and see what's happening. So as I said before, I'm going to start off with my Druddigon here, which is an awesome start for my part. While my opponent goes for Electivire, I was actually expecting the Steelix. In that case, Druddigon would still be good. But he is actually going to Volt Switch out, and I can actually put up my Stealth Rocks right away from the beginning, as he is going into his Landorus Therian. So there goes my Stealth Rocks. At this point, I knew he was either going to put up his Stealth Rocks, so I just went for the Glare, and there you go, the Paralyze came through. As he's actually going to U-turn, which will enable the Rough Skin and the Rocky Helmet. So a lot of damage already done to Landorus Therian at the beginning. Now there is the Steelix that I mentioned earlier, which I thought he was going to start off with from the beginning. I just Dragon Tail, and he goes right back into his Latias at that point. Now I don't want to risk losing my Druddigon right away, so I go into my Florges. It was the most safe option for me to go into, as he is going for the Dragon Pulse. So that was a very smart move for me to do. He could go and have gone for another move like a Psychic or something like that. That would have probably hurt a little bit, but going into my Florges at that point was the safest bet for me, and thank God he went for the Dragon Pulse, so it doesn't affect my Carolina, the Florges. So at this point, I'm like, I can just put up the Calm Mind here and set up, because most of the time with Florges I'll run Calm Mind, Aromatherapy, Synthesis I think, and Moonblast. Yeah, Moonblast. Those are the most moveset, as he's actually going for Toxic after my second Calm Mind here. A little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Actually, I'm actually going to Moonblast right now, because that is I thought at that point a Moonblast would do a massive damage against the Porygon 2. He's actually going to switch out into his Arcanine because he resists that Fairy type move. But still, as you can see, that Moonblast did so much damage to the Arcanine. So at this point I was like, you know what, let's just Moonblast again. It would only kill if we get a critical hit, but he's actually going to use Morning Sun here and get all of the experience back, all of the HP back, while the Moonblast does get a critical hit. So if he doesn't Morning Sun there, that Arcanine would be gone. At this point I was like, okay, he's going for another Morning Sun, I can just use Aromatherapy and get rid of that Toxic. And after that, I actually wanted to go for another Calm Mind to securely kill this Arcanine, but this Arcanine runs Roar, so at that point I knew this was going to be a very defensive Arcanine. So then my Pumbaa comes in, and unfortunately for us, Pumbaa runs Head Smash. I run Head Smash on this Emboar, and I thought, you know what, let's risk it, all the biscuits here, and let's just Head Smash the Arcanine, and it does kill the Arcanine at that point. It was Rocky Helmet Arcanine, so a very defensive Arcanine indeed. And my Emboar at that point was like very crippled, but I didn't want to lose Emboar just yet. I could have gone for another Head Smash because we are Choice Scarf Emboar here, but then, you know, my brain was like, dude, think of your differentials, because that could be very important in the end of this season, at the end of the regular season. And the old Super Tsunorashi was like, nah, just Head Smash. But now I'm like more thinking of the consequences of letting a Mon go during the season itself. So at this point I was like, you know what, I can switch back into my Carolina here, because what is he going to do? My Carolina, my Florgas special defense is so good. He does get a crit on the Volt Switch there, which was kind of annoying, but still, we'll get some leftovers back and we're a-okay. Then I'm going back into my Druddigon, because I was not, you know, hoping for a Heavy Slam Steelix or something like that, as he's actually going for the Earthquake, which will still have done, you know, major damage to my Florgas. So it was a good thing that I've switched back into my Druddigon here to take that Earthquake. And at that point I could just use Glare again. Hopefully we could, you know, paralyze that thing. He doesn't get paralyzed, unfortunately, and the Earthquake will knock G-Dragon, the Druddigon, down. But at this point I can just go into my Kyurem and just spam Ice Beam at this point. My Choice Specs Kyurem, because Ice Beam will do a decent amount of damage. And we do get the paralysis there. So very lucky for my part, very unlucky for my opponent part, but the Steelix will go down with another Ice Beam. Now this Porygon 2 comes in, and I knew the only Mon of my team that could take this Porygon down is my Kartana. So I was expecting another Toxic, so I went into my Kartana predicting that Toxic. He didn't go for the Toxic, he went for the Recover to get himself from 100% HP, whereas I am going to hit my Sacred Sword C move, all out pummeling, and it lives on 1 HP. I'm very unfortunate that I couldn't kill this from full, but it doesn't matter, because at this point the Porygon 2 is that much crippled that the Stealth Rock damage will kill him if he decides to switch out again. And seeing that Kartana can take this thing out, he didn't want to risk, you know, getting a Beast Boost, as the Tri-Attack will do like over half. So he switched out that Porygon 2 into Landorus Therian to get that Intimidate drop off. Night Slash will get a critical, it won't kill, but at this point I can just, you know, spam Leaf Blade at this point, because Leaf Blade kills. The Rocky Helmet will do a decent damage to get my Kartana on 40%, but then Electabuzz, we outspeed, Leaf Blade, dead. So then we get a Beast Boot again, and at this point we had he knows he has Night Slash, so I could just Night Slash this thing. We do get the crit. I don't know if that crit mattered. I didn't check that while playing, and at this point the Porygon 2 will kill itself with Stealth Rock. So with that we will win this match with 5-0, and I'm very satisfied with how this match went. For my first league match after like 3 months, it went very well. I played very, how do you call that? I played very normally. I didn't make any risky moves. The only risky move that I make was with the Ember and head smash. He could have easily switched out and it could have, you know, hurt my team maybe a little bit. I could have let the Ember go, but I didn't. I knew I should have just, you know, preserved that Ember if necessary. And with that, it makes me win this match with a 5-0 differential instead with a 4-0 differential, which could be useful at the end of this season, regular season. But with that, this concludes the first week of the SL93, the Showdown League 93. And I really do hope that your guys gonna enjoy my comeback as a draft league coach, because I really want to invest more time in the competitive side of Pokemon, especially draft leagues, because draft leagues are so much fun. And I kinda lost my focus 3 months ago with draft leagues, and you know, my enjoyment of draft leagues was kinda gone, but I'm slowly regaining the fun of doing draft leagues. And I'm so happy that I'm in this league, and we are going to meet some old friends in this league, which is fun as well. But yeah, that concludes week 1. And I do hope to see you guys again for week 2. Again, this is a casual league, so there's also no schedule for this series at the moment. If I do have time, I will upload the battles. If not, it will probably be a little bit later than usual. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon, because then you will get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. And I will see you guys in the next match of the Groningen Noctowls.